Good morning from Paris. My name is Mylene. If you're new here, I am a content creator based in Toronto. But today, because you're clicking on this vlog, I am in Paris for the first time. This is my first time in a while solo traveling, and I've never been to Paris and I've never been to France in general before, so I'm gonna really push myself during this trip to do a lot of things alone and kind of just take myself on little solo dates and just enjoy the city. It was a bit of a slow morning because, not gonna lie, I've been pretty tired from the last leg of the trip. Okay, so this is editing Mylene here. For context, before Paris, I was in Spain reuniting with some friends who I haven't seen in years, but that's a story for another day. But okay, while I have you here, let me just show you some clips from yesterday when I first arrived in Paris, because honestly, in the edit, I have no clue where else to put this in the video, so here it is. Basically, I took the train into Paris from the south of France, and then I checked into my accommodation, and here's a little tour of the place.
I just got in here and it is crazy. The first bedroom over here. Beautiful, cute little balcony. What the hell? Okay. Oh my god, there's a bathroom over here too. What the heck? Whoa, there's even like a little tub. That is so cute. The cutest little kitchen with like the cutest view. What? The living room, which again is literally insane. This place is huge. This is a gigantic mirror. And there's literally a hole upstairs. This is crazy. There's a little office area with a sunroof. There's another bedroom over here, which is so cute and cozy. There's a little private terrace up here.
And then I went for a little solo dinner, and man, I felt very awkward during this dinner. I realized eating alone made me feel really uncomfortable. But anyways, back to scheduled programming. We're gonna see what we can try to squeeze in today and go from there. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this cup of hot water. I think one thing that I seem to struggle with a lot when it comes to solo travel is, one, I think I've gotten to the age where I've realized that I do have a particular way of travel that I prefer the most, and that happens to be literally just being dragged around by my friends. I think I'm lucky enough to have friends who live in many different parts of the world, and so when I visit these new places, it's always nice for me to just be dragged around what their day-to-day looks like and see the life that they've crafted for themselves. I don't really have many friends in Paris, so this is really pushing me to just kind of go out there and explore and just enjoy my own company again. I think I'm someone who considers myself to be fairly independent, considering I work for myself. The majority of my time is by myself because I live alone back in Canada. So I don't really feel like I have anything to prove when it comes to independence anymore. But there are still things that I want to overcome just in terms of putting myself out there. One of the big things that I struggle with is trying to unplug, figuring out a way to find the balance of living in the moment and knowing what to capture versus what I can just fully embrace. For me, even like this trip today, before going out, I've been stressing about what gear to bring. Like, do I bring just my iPhone? Do I bring my DJI? Do I bring this camera that I'm filming on now, which is my Fujifilm X-S20? But if I bring the Fujifilm, then I need to bring the tripod. And then do I feel awkward whipping out the tripod in public? I know that I should just focus on living in the moment, but there's always that like voice at the back of your head that says, oh, like, capture this, document this. It can make it hard to just enjoy the experience and where you are fully. I'm currently going to walk over to the garden on that side. I forget the name of it, but I'll insert it here. But right now I'm across from the Musée d'Orsay. I probably butchered the pronunciation of that, but look at it, it's so majestic. I really wanted to go inside, but like, I didn't get tickets in time, and I thought they wouldn't sell out online, but they did. And then I passed by, and the line to go get door tickets is insane. So unfortunately, I can only admire it from the outside, I guess. I did end up buying a lot of postcards and things like that at a souvenir shop. So I'm gonna go to the park, find a seat to sit down, and just start writing those so that I can send those out to my friends. Literally standing on this random bridge over the Seine, and it is so beautiful. I'm so happy, and there's music playing in the background, and it's just so beautiful. There's a boat coming.
That was very cute. Oh, this is so zoomed in.
I think I've been so lucky over the past few years just to be able to travel and go to so many beautiful places. It's been a while since I've experienced going somewhere completely new and just being in awe, and also just having the freedom to take things at my own pace. I think a lot of the times that I've traveled this year, I've had to follow a schedule that was given to me, or I've just felt really rushed. And so sure, I might not be getting 20,000 steps in, but who knows, the day is still young. And sure, I might not be seeing all the typical touristy things, even though I am in a touristy place right now. But I'm just really happy to enjoy my time here and take a slow morning and literally just sit in the sun with all these beautiful leaves and in this quiet, peaceful park. It's just so nice. It feels so good. So good. I've just finished writing my postcards, so it's gonna be time to go look for a post office, but then also I'm gonna walk around again because after sitting for so long, it is actually a little chilly now. So I'm gonna continue walking through the park and see what we can find. Look for a post office. Currently, I am heading to Le Petit Palais. So I was originally going to get lunch there, but I still feel pretty full from the smoked salmon earlier. So we're just gonna check it out, walk around, see some art, see some pretty architecture. But yeah, let's go. Okay, so at first I was like, there's no way this is Le Petit Palais because it literally looks huge. Like, massive. Absolutely massive. But then I noticed that Le Petit Palais is actually across the street and it's over here, but it still looks fairly large. But anyways, I gotta cross back over the street now. There's actually quite a thick line to get into Le Petit Palais, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to get in today, but at least we get to see the outside. The outside is beautiful. I think throughout the day, I realized that it's a lot harder than I thought to stay in the present moment. Nowadays, I think my head is often clouded with all the things that I could be doing, filming more content, or even just using the time to reflect more. I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to always be maximizing where I am and what I'm doing, as if time is running out. And I think this is a thing that a lot of us struggle with when it comes to travel or work, or even just like a mundane week in our lives. It's easy to get caught up in wanting to feel like you can do everything. We're back. When I went to the post office, they said that they cannot send my Canadian postcards because there's a strike right now. But I was able to send the ones to the US and Spain, so at least a few of them will make it to their final destination. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the Canadian ones. Kind of sad because the stamp is part of the whimsy of sending postcards to your friends. International stamps are cool. Anyways, I finished charging my phone and my camera, and I'm gonna try to go to Le Bon Marché for a little bit of shopping because my friend recommended it. And then after that, I'm going to head to the TIMELEFT dinner. So we will see how that goes. I find that every time I go outside and start filming again, I have like a reset period where I feel awkward, hence why I'm whispering. Acquired plenty of chocolates to bring home, and now I'm heading back to the apartment because it is a little chilly, so I think I'm going to change into some pants before going to the TIMELEFT dinner. As I was leaving the apartment, I opened the door for the sweetest old lady, and I understood everything that she said in French. Granted, she said like 2 sentences, but I felt proud. I'm kind of nervous, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a while since I've sat in a room of strangers. It's a woman's only dinner, which I think is really nice. I hope that there's no language barrier. It is an English only dinner, but I guess we'll see what happens. In previous dinners with strangers, I've noticed that I've typically tried to hide what I do for a living. I'll just say that I work in marketing. I do feel a bit of dissonance where it's harder for me to connect with that person because I know that I'm hiding a few details. Just got off the subway from the TIMELEFT dinner, and honestly it was really cute. There's 5 of us in total, and I think it's honestly such a life hack to go to a TIMELEFT dinner in a new city. Granted that it's English speaking, because as a solo traveler it's so nice to just share a meal with locals. Full day one of Paris is officially complete, and I just wanted to take the time to reflect a little bit on the day, but more specifically the TIMELEFT dinner that I just got back from. I had a really good experience overall. As any dinner with strangers, it's a little bit awkward at first because I think the other thing too is you don't really know what the cultural norms are, the differences are, and so I did feel a little bit more reserved in the beginning. I think as the dinner went on, things definitely like lightened up and it was easier to talk to everybody, but I do notice that I did still struggle when it came to talking about my profession. We didn't really talk too much about jobs, but when it did come up, I wasn't directly asked what I do for work, but I did mention that I work remotely, and no one kind of prodded further of like, oh, what kind of job you do remotely. And so I kind of just glazed over what I do. And I think my hesitation there was me getting in my own head and my own fears of judgment. Other people were kind of talking about what they do for work in passing, whether it's like government related or research related. And I think I still have this old university mindset where the university I went to, there was kind of this air of judgment when it came to profession, where if you weren't working a typical like engineering job or software job, you were kind of looked down upon in a way. Like maybe not directly, but there was kind of this like vibe. And I think I still kind of feel that insecurity sometimes when I'm in a social setting. I love what I do, but I think I do still fear other people's judgment. That's just something that I've noticed, and I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to let go of that. So I am a little bit disappointed in myself for not just being outwardly like, oh, I'm a content creator. Other than that though, I think like general reflections of having dinner with strangers is that you really get out of it what you put in. And so obviously if you're like quieter and more reserved, it might be harder for you to engage in conversation or feel like you're getting the most out of it. And so I think in those situations I do try to ask questions and be intentional. But obviously like it's always that little dance of, oh, how outspoken should I be, or how comfortable should I be in this room of strangers, where you want to open up and you want to show more of yourself, but you also don't know if the vibe is right. I think I have some friends who are really good at this, where right off the bat their personality is just there, and again, people either love it or hate it, but the people who love it will really love it. And I think in those situations I definitely am more of a shy, reserved, or quieter person at first in group settings, but it really depends. I think I also feed off of other people's energy as well, so if I can feel that they have a lot of energy and they're putting that forward, then I'll try to do the same. But anyways, that concludes day one. It is time to say goodnight. Bonne nuit. Bon matin! It is another day in Paris, and I have a cup of hot water again, as per usual. Still no tea, but you know what? Hot water in the morning, I understand. I get it now. I'm going to attempt to do this intro in French for a little bit, but my French skills are not that great. I took it up until grade 12, but then stopped and have not spoken since, so yep. Aujourd'hui, nous allons faire beaucoup de choses, so we're gonna be doing a lot of things today. To be honest, I probably don't know how to say the rest of it in French, so I'm just gonna stop there. Also, I feel very awkward speaking in French still, because I think I have fear that my accent is weird, because it is very Canadian or Americanized. But you know, we try our best regardless. Today I'm going to be going to try to get the limited edition croissant stamps. So they have scratch and sniff stamps. Yesterday at the Time Left dinner, a girl had mentioned that they have limited edition stamps, and so I'm gonna go back to the post office today to try to get them. We got a long day ahead, so let's go. J'ai acheté un bon de chocolat. So cute. I'm excited to try it. Oh, it smells so good. Bon appetit. It's literally so good. Oh, and not too sweet. Alright, made it to the post office. We're about to go in and see if they have the croissant scented stamps. Wait, why is it roped off? Is it closed? I don't even know what this says. Est-ce que tu as ça?
Yeah, I
Oh, thank you. Wait, I am so hyped right now. We got them! I got the stamps. I got 6 of them. I kind of wish I got more, but I got 6. Yay! Alright friends, I have some amazing news. We have gotten the stamps. They are apparently scratch and sniff. I'm so curious to see if they smell like it. We will scratch one. It smells like something, but it doesn't smell like butter croissants, but it smells like something. That's so cool though. I'm so happy. My shoulder is starting to hurt from carrying all of this gear. That's okay. We move forward. We have reunited with Ying. Yay!
Yes.
She's taking me around
We are
this
in
very
Montmartre right now.
the center of where all the artists used to live, and it's just a very energizing place to be.
I'm excited to
explore. The main reason why I wanted to come here was because I wanted to experience more arts, and people here just like deeply care about the arts. Whether it's like discussions around how AI is disrupting the space, there are discussions around it, and you can see that the government cares a lot too by making all the museums really accessible for the young. Like it's free for me to go to all the museums right now as a student, and just a lot of young people benefits that encourage them to learn more about art and culture, which I really appreciate. That's the main thing that I've been enjoying, but just like everything is so beautiful. I walk out, I'm like, wow, Paris!
Honestly, yeah, I feel like you can't look around and be like, wow, like have a bad day, or just be like, oh, it's like not nice looking. Because even the little balconies, like they're so cute.
Public transit, beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. Alright, I have just left Ying and now I'm going to the Louvre for my 7:30 tickets. I did not go in with a plan. Everyone said that you should look at the map first, but I did not do that, so hopefully I still have a good time and I don't get too overwhelmed. I'm also curious to see how crowded it is. Wow, the paintings are crazy. I think these are some of the original walls of the castle. It's kind of crazy because since it's closing time, there's like literally no one in here. It's just me. Alright, I am now leaving the Louvre. I really sped through it at the end and my feet are cooked. I checked really quickly on Apple Health and I think I've taken about 24,000 steps today, all in these boots. And now we have one final quest, to see the Eiffel Tower sparkle one last time. Cool, I can see the Eiffel Tower now. All the way in the back. We are back, ending the day how we started it, with a cup of hot water and a little bit of reflection on the trip now that this is my final night and I fly out tomorrow. I think during this trip, it just gave me an opportunity to realize that I am not as good at living in the present moment as I thought I was. So yeah, just something for me to think about, I guess, moving forward. But I think this trip was really fun because it pushed me in a lot of different ways that I didn't expect, because going into this trip, I didn't have expectations in general. I think it's interesting because when I think about the start of the trip a few days ago, I definitely had more hesitation. I was kind of like, you know what, I think I've grown to a point where
I actually don't really like solo travel anymore. But then as the days progressed, I actually got more comfortable with it. I think that maybe in the beginning I was just feeling like, you know, going from seeing my friends and having that fun trip with them to suddenly being alone. I think it was that adjustment period where I just missed being around them and missed having fun with them, because obviously the memories that you have with friends is just so different than the memories that you have alone. I think I just needed time to warm up to solo travel again. Also, side note, this shirt, I thrifted this when I was with Ying earlier. I tried it on, so that's why I have it on right now. There's a slight stain on it, but for €3, what a steal. But anyways, back to what I was saying before. Even when I compare my first meal in Paris, I had dinner alone and I felt really uncomfortable. Like I was always on my phone and I was just kind of like shifting in my seat awkwardly. But then tonight, I literally had the French onion soup and the creme brulee alone, and I felt completely fine. When you put yourself in a new situation or one that you haven't been in a while, expect there to be a bit of that adjustment period where you're kind of just re-regulating to this new environment or this new scenario. And with that, I will say what I've always said this year. I'm just happy to be here. So thank you for watching, and thank you for being here as well.